People don't decide to use you. They realize they can. It's not planned. It's observed. The way you respond, the way you hesitate, the way you avoid pushing back, it sends a signal. And once that signal is clear, people adjust how they treat you. Most think being nice protects them. That if they're respectful, patient, and understanding, others will return the same. But that's not how it works. Respect isn't given to good intentions. It's given to boundaries. And weakness. It's rarely visible to you, but it's obvious to everyone else. In this video, you're going to understand why some men get used and why others don't, even in the same situations. This isn't about becoming aggressive or loud. It's about shifting from being passive to being controlled, from reacting without thinking to responding in a way that earns respect without asking for it. You'll see how people detect weakness almost instantly, often without saying a word. Why the strongest men don't feel the need to prove anything, and what the predator mindset actually means, beyond the surface level idea most people get wrong. Because once you understand these patterns, you stop wondering why people treat you a certain way and start controlling how they do. Weakness isn't physical, it's behavioral. It shows up in small, almost unnoticeable patterns that most people don't even realize they're displaying, but others notice instantly. Over-explaining is one of the biggest signals. When you feel the need to justify every decision or clarify every detail, it doesn't come across as confidence. It signals uncertainty. Then there's approval seeking, looking for validation before you act, adjusting yourself to be liked, softening your stance so no one gets uncomfortable. And maybe the most damaging one, avoiding conflict, letting things slide when they shouldn't, staying quiet when you should speak, choosing comfort over position. Individually, these behaviors seem harmless, but together, they create a pattern. And patterns are easy to read. People don't test you randomly. They test what feels easy to push. If your behavior suggests you won't resist, won't challenge, won't hold your ground, they don't need to guess. They already know. People don't start with obvious disrespect. They start small, because the goal isn't conflict, it's calibration. They want to see where your boundaries are, how you react, and what you're willing to tolerate. And they do it in ways that are easy to dismiss if you're not paying attention. A joke that crosses the line then gets brushed off as just kidding. A last-minute change that wastes your time, followed by a casual excuse. A subtle push to get you to agree to something you're not fully comfortable with. Each of these moments is a test. Not aggressive, not obvious, but deliberate enough to reveal how you respond. And if you laugh it off, stay quiet or go along with it, something important happens. The first time you don't push back becomes the standard. From that point on, they don't question whether they can do it again. They assume they can. And over time, those small tests turn into patterns. Not because people are necessarily trying to dominate you, but because you've shown them where the limits are, and more importantly, where they aren't. The predator mindset is often misunderstood. It's not about aggression, dominance, or being cruel. It's not about overpowering people or trying to intimidate them. That's noise, and it usually comes from insecurity. The real meaning is much quieter. It's awareness, control, and boundaries. It's the ability to observe before you act, to read situations instead of rushing into them, to notice tone, behavior, and intent without immediately reacting. Because once you react emotionally, you lose control of the interaction. A man with this mindset doesn't get pulled into every situation. He chooses when to respond, how to respond, and whether it's even worth responding at all. He's not trying to prove strength, he's maintaining it. It's not about being dangerous, it's about not being easy. And that difference changes how people approach you. They become more careful, more respectful, more aware of how far they can go. If you're starting to realize how often behavior, not strength, decides how people treat you, subscribe. Most people never see this clearly. Respect isn't random, and it's not about status, looks, or how loud someone is. It comes from something much simpler and far more consistent: the predictability of your boundaries. People are always observing, even when it doesn't seem like it. They're watching how you react under pressure, how you respond to discomfort, and what you allow without resistance. Over time, they build a clear picture of what you tolerate and what you don't. Strong men don't need to announce their standards. They demonstrate them. They stay calm under pressure, not because nothing affects them, but because they don't let emotions control their behavior. They don't over-explain or try to convince others of their position. They say what needs to be said, and stop there. No extra words, no need for approval, and most importantly, they're willing to walk away. That's where real respect is built. Not in what you say, but in what you're prepared to leave behind. When people know you won't tolerate certain behavior, and that you're not afraid to remove yourself if it continues, they adjust. Not out of fear, but out of clarity. Because boundaries only matter when they're enforced. Respect comes from what people know you won't tolerate. And once that becomes clear, you don't need to demand respect anymore. It becomes the default. The shift doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't require you to become a completely different person. It starts with small changes in how you respond. First, you stop seeking approval. You stop adjusting your behavior just to be liked or accepted. Not in an aggressive way, but in a controlled, quiet way. You no longer need everyone to agree with you to feel confident in your decisions. You also stop explaining everything. Not every choice needs justification. Not every action needs to be understood by others. The more you explain, the more you give people room to question, challenge, or weaken your position. Instead, you start pausing. You give yourself space before responding. You observe what's actually happening instead of reacting to what it feels like in the moment. And when you do respond, it's intentional, not emotional. You choose your words. You choose your timing. You choose whether something even deserves your attention. And over time, this changes how people interact with you. You don't become louder. You don't become aggressive. You simply become harder to read, harder to pressure, and harder to use. You don't become stronger. You become harder to take advantage of. At some point, you realize strength has nothing to do with being aggressive, loud, or dominant. That version of strength is often just reaction, uncontrolled, emotional, and easy to predict. Real strength is quieter than that. It's controlled. It's deliberate. It shows up in how you handle pressure, not how you create it. Because the goal isn't to overpower people. It's to stop being someone they can easily take advantage of. And that shift starts internally. You stop reacting to everything. You stop trying to win every interaction. You stop giving energy to situations that don't deserve it. Instead, you become more selective about your words, your time, and your responses. You start noticing patterns. You start seeing when someone is testing you, when they're pushing, when they're looking for a reaction. And instead of giving it to them, you control it. That's where everything changes. People begin to sense that you're not easy anymore, that you won't over-explain, won't fold under pressure, won't tolerate subtle disrespect just to keep things smooth. You don't need to announce it. You don't need to prove it. It shows in your behavior. You become calm where others expect reaction, silent where others expect explanation, firm where others expect flexibility. And that creates something most people never develop: presence. Not forced, not performative, just clear. Because when people can't predict you, can't pressure you, and can't find an easy way to move you, they adjust. The same people who once tested you start choosing their words more carefully. The same situations that once drained you start losing their grip, not because the world changed, but because you did. Strength is control, not aggression. And once you understand that, you stop trying to act strong and start becoming someone who naturally is. The moment people realize they can't use you, they start respecting you. And if you've ever felt people push your limits just to see what happens, you already know this is real.